when you use the leverage of the vortex, you trim years of sifting and struggle and false alarms and wild goose chases. You trim it all off because you get right to what counts, and then the universe says here, 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 until finally you say, all right already. Let me just enjoy this for a while. It's coming pretty fast. Jerry will say to Esther when he sees her out of sync a little bit, their lives are very busy, and sometimes Esther will get overwhelmed and out of whack. Sometimes he does too. And Jerry will say, why don't we sit and meditate, or why don't we just sit and get into alignment? And Esther's answer, she often laughs right after she says this, is, I don't have time for that. I don't have to, and Jerry never says anything in response to that anymore. He's gotten very smart in his time with Esther. But his thought is, you don't have time not to do that. He does not want to get in the bus and start driving down the highway with her if she's not in the vortex. A very, very wise man. In other words, if she's in the vortex, traffic goes well, everything goes well, the bus operates well, her instincts are right on. It's a big piece of equipment to be moving around, and you don't want to be out of the vortex when you're moving it around, you see. And you don't want to be moving around in life at all, whether you're driving a monster bus or a lawnmower or anything else. You don't want to be out of the vortex while you're hiring people. You don't want to be out of the vortex while you're planning what's next. You don't want to be out of the vortex when you're ordering lunch. You don't want to be out of the vortex when you're eating lunch. You don't want to be out of the vortex when you're talking to people you love. You don't want to be out of the vortex when you're talking to people that you're just meeting. You want to be in the vortex. You want to be an extension of Source. That's who you are. And anything less than that is just not enough, and it will always feel off to you, you see. You're still talking about why you need it instead of how good it will feel to have it. You're still defending your reason for asking rather than just going with the flow and understanding and accepting that when you ask, it is given every single time. But it is given vibrationally first, and that's the thing that trips so many of our human friends up. You don't care about the vibrational giving. You want the money in the bank. You want the lover in the bed. You want the car in the garage. Vibrational, vibrational, vibrational. What's this vibrational stuff? I want to spend it. I want to know it. I want to see it, smell it, hear it, taste it, touch it, feel it. I want the tactile, physical experience of it. And we say, if you will satisfy yourself just for a little while with the emotional version of going with the flow, if you will be satisfied for a while to feel the exhilaration of the good idea, it is our promise to you that your good idea will manifest in your life experience, in your what you call reality, in the same way that it has already taken shape and form in this vibrational reality. This vibrational reality is a reality. It is the vibrational precursor to everything that you know that is physically manifested. But as humans, you've become such organizers of the physical stuff and such observers of the physical stuff that you have lost your sense of who you really are. So you want to see something rather than feel something. We want you to get back to that primal, pre-birth, source energy, memory, that sometimes it feels good just to feel good by affecting the direction of your thought and finding the feeling. The beasts of your planet still remember that. They are much more intuitive, you call them. They are much more instinctual, you call them, which means they're listening to vibration. And you say, well, they've just got good ears. And we say, yes, they do. They have good ears. They are keenly sensing vibration. They see better than you do. They hear better than you do. They smell better than you do. Their food tastes better than yours does, and it's dog food. They are better at interpreting vibration because they are not dependent on the visual manifestation. They are still utilizing their senses. And once you're consistently in this vortex, in this vibrational arena, where you're feeling the fullness of who you are, now you have clear sight. Now you have clear sound. Now you're in this vibrational sphere where what you're asking for can be revealed to you. Abraham, I've been doing this and this. Well, that's pretty good, but that won't get you where you want to be. I know. It hasn't been getting me where I want to be, and I don't like it, and it keeps happening over and over again. Let me tell you about it. And we're saying, don't do that anymore. Don't do that. Don't take action until you feel not just a hopeful feeling. Don't take action until nothing could keep you from it. Don't take action until the momentum is so strong that there is nothing that could keep you from it. You get the idea. Well, I will take this action in order to bring that about. And when you introduce that action, instead of it feeling better, it feels worse because there's some sort of contradiction going on in your vibration. So then you say, but I don't know what to do. If I do nothing, that doesn't feel right. And if I do something, that doesn't feel right. What should I do? And we say, when it feels wrong either way, just hold tight and say to yourself, this isn't the time for an action journey. This is the time for an emotional journey. Now, that's what you think you've been doing. You said, I thought that I was doing that because then I'd get the inspiration. And so our encouragement to you is sit with the inspiration just a little while longer. Don't jump into action the moment that the idea comes. Play it out in your mind a little bit. Imagine it a little longer. Try to get into the vortex relative to other subjects and then milk it a little longer. So here's the way we would do it. We'd get into the vortex on one of those subjects that you say there are so many things going well in your life. So we'd get into the vortex. And then we'd milk being there. And then you'll find yourself feeling good. An idea will come. You'll feel the impulse to respond to it. You'll realize that the impulse came and you didn't get thrown out of the vortex. And the idea will get stronger and feel stronger until you'll feel compelled to offer that action. It won't be action trying to compensate for misalignment. It will be action inspired from alignment. And we promise you, you will know the difference. It will feel so, when Esther decided that she wanted to be with Jerry, everybody in her life said, don't do it. Everyone in her life said, don't do it. And Esther said to every single one of them, I'm doing it. Get over it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Nothing in this universe could stop me from this. She could feel this vortex. He had been in her vortex for such a very long time. The moment she laid eyes on him, she recognized him for who he was. She had to beat him down a little bit to make him understand. But in other words, when you have that sort of knowing, no one can talk you out of it. And until you have that kind of knowing, don't mess with it. Until you know it so strong that nothing could keep you from it, don't take the action. And here's what's going on. Hope isn't in the vortex. Hope's on the verge of the vortex. So if you're acting from the vibration of hope, you're taking action too soon. You want to hope until the vortex takes you in and makes a believer out of you. And once the vortex takes you in and makes a believer out of you, if you hang around longer, then you'll know. And once you're in the place of knowing, what you want cannot be denied. So you are impatiently jumping into action before your alignment is really secure. That's all. Now, this is the thing that we so want you to understand. As you're moving through life experience, exposed to all kinds of circumstances and events and other people and their ideas and beliefs and desires, you can't help but come to a steady stream of conclusions about what, from your perspective, would be better. And as those conclusions emanate from you, and the source within you makes them a vibrational reality by holding to the vibrational frequency of them, you can then, from the moment of the birth of the new desire, you can feel what your vibrational relationship is to that improvement. That's what your emotions give you. Your emotions give you moment by moment feedback. Your emotions let you know whether you're a match to what you want or whether you're a match to what you don't want. And what you begin to understand as you listen to us talking about these universal laws is that the powerful law of attraction which is a law that responds to the vibrational basis of all that is, this law of attraction is the law that makes it possible that when you set your radio dial on 6:30 a.m., you hear what's being broadcast from the station that is broadcasting 6:30 a.m. The frequency of the transmitter and the receiver have to match up. And everything in this universe, every particle, every piece of dirt, every organism, every part of you, everything that exists in all that you see and in that which you do not see, is a vibrational basis that is transmitting and receiving constantly. And those transmitting and receiving signals are being organized by this powerful law of attraction, which says in simple terms, that which is likened to itself is drawn. So if you set your frequency on, I don't have enough money, and you stay there long enough that you set your frequency on, I don't have enough money and I am really irritated about it, I don't have enough money and I am frightened about it, as you set your frequency there, even though you may be going through all of the motions that might bring money to others, you hold the money that you're asking for away from you because, and you'd often don't even realize you're doing it, you have tuned yourself to the frequency of not enough. And when you tune yourself to the frequency of not enough money, or when you tune yourself to the frequency of a physical condition that you do not want, when you tune yourself by practice to a vibrational frequency, law of attraction cannot buck your current. You cannot receive around the signal that you're offering. The signal that you're offering equals your point of attraction. So many of you say, Esther says it daily, Abraham, I don't get why that doesn't irritate you. That irritates me. Why would someone behave that way? And we say to Esther, a better question than why are they behaving that way is, how does my awareness of their behavior feel? Or a better thing to say would be, why am I using that behavior as my current reason to cause vibrational disparity between who I really am and myself in this moment? Isn't that too big of a price to pay? And we say, we really think it is. But then often you say, well, if I'm not here to form an opinion, if I'm not here to make a judgment, if I'm not here to come to a conclusion of what I prefer, then what do you mean that I'm sorting through contrast and using the contrast to help me to identify what I want? And we say, well, that part's exactly right. But you did not intend to come forth, sift through the contrast, pick out the parts you don't want or that you don't like, and then make a career out of pointing out what's wrong with it. You don't go to a buffet and spend your whole time standing in line telling the nice people behind the counter, I don't like that, and I don't like that, and I don't like that. What were they thinking? Who would put that there? Why would they put that there? I don't even want to know what that is. That's not the way you choose from your buffet. You select from among it what you want. And that's what you intended to do when you came into this physical time-space reality. You expected to have exposure to life that would help you to identify improvement. And you knew that when you, out here on the leading edge, ferret out an improvement, you knew that the larger part of you, that would be us, that would be source, that would be your inner being, that would be that non-physical part of you. You knew that that non-physical part of you would then hold steady to the improved version that you have carved out of life. And that's exactly what happens. When you don't have enough money, you ask for more, whether you use words or not. You ask vibrationally. And when that rocket of desire, that other side of the vibrational wave, when that bounce occurs, the source within you holds steady forevermore your new conclusion about the prosperity that you seek. But when you look back at the circumstance that caused you to ask for more money, and you defend the needing or the wanting of more money by pointing out how hard it is without it, or how unjust it is without it, or how not fair, how not right, how annoying, how unpleasant, how Many others are experiencing it maybe in the same way. As you defend or rationalize or justify your improvement request, you hold yourself out of vibrational alignment with the improvement that you have requested. And you hold yourself instead in vibrational alignment with the problem that caused the solution.